Good morning, Maisie. Good morning, Riley. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, big stretch. Yes, I see you, love. Yeah. Let's go get some coffee. Riley girl. There you go, Riley. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, I'll stop filming you. I'll stop filming you. Ivy's robe. Ivy's happy belly robe. Ivy. That's good, girlie. I see your robe, sweetheart. I see it. Wow. Ivy. Go back inside, please. I am going to attempt to film
an intro to today's vlog. And hopefully, while I'm doing it, Maisie doesn't rip my arm out of my socket. I'm here at Cedar View Acres, and in the morning, I take Maisie and Riley, which are these two beautiful Staffordshire terriers that live here with everybody else that I'm going to introduce you to or reintroduce you to today. Riley, I think, is 9 or 10, and she's just a sweet baby angel, and so is Maisie, but Maisie's, I think, 2 or 3, and she has such a high prey drive that all she wants to do is kill every gopher, every ground squirrel, every barn kitten, and she has a retractable leash so that she can have a little bit of freedom, but also so that I can kind of stop her from lunging at things. But sometimes I don't have the leash locked in time and she just like yanks my arm. We're just kind of going through the morning routine here. I have been at Cedar View since Sunday, and today is Wednesday, so for a few days, and I decided not to vlog when I got here because first of all, it was so early in the morning and I had been running on such little sleep from sleeping on my mom's teal couch, which is not big enough for my body. I have an air mattress, but it has a hole in it. And also, the most important thing and theme of this vlog, and the reason why I have to do everything I have to do this morning, is that Southern Alberta has been like plagued with the craziest friggin' storms, like lightning, thunder, rainstorms. If you watched the previous vlog where I was traveling into Calgary to go and stay at my mom's that first night, I drove right into that storm. I saw it from the foothills, driving through Foothills County, and saw everything. It was crazy and so cool to see, but also like kind of scary. Anyways, so as it turns out, the next evening I came down to Cedar View to meet with my client, Carly, and she was going to kind of walk me through all the things that have changed because I've stayed here at Cedar View a couple of times before. I've vlogged about it in the past, last summer and last fall. Things change fast on rural properties, especially when you have animals. So Lena, who is her biggest horse, she got so spooked by the thunder, she decided to try and jump over the fence of her paddock, flipped her body, and like injured her legs. So this is Spoon, kind of like her mate, her sister, and this is Lena. Hi, sweetie. I know. Hello, you're so big. I can barely fit her in the frame whenever I try to like vlog about her. So she had to teach me all of the things that I have to do to care for Lena and her injuries, which includes administering like horsey Advil and icing her legs. I have to put these ice packs on her legs. And excuse me, Maisie, we don't go in there. Good girl. There we go. This is Aspen. Aspen is new, and so I've been getting to know her as well. So there's the three horses. They're a really big part of the morning routine and the evening routine, like the chores. So in these vlogs, this time at Cedar View Acres, this is the 3rd time that I'll be vlogging my stay here. They're gonna be the focus because they've been taking up the most of just like my time and like my effort when it comes to chores. I have to find Riley because she kind of likes to roam around and do her thing. She kind of pops in and out as she pleases. There she is. Hey, honey. Good girl. I'm gonna do my very best to vlog the chores, the AM chores this morning and the PM chores this evening. Things happen very, very fast, and animals move very, very quickly, and horses are massive. So I'm gonna try and do my best to capture what I can, set up my tripod where I can, and just try and like document this whole experience for round 3 here at Cedar View Acres. But it's hard, it's challenging. Everything just happens like so quickly. It's really hard to take the time to actually vlog about it properly. And I'm nervous about the horses knocking over my camera and breaking it. Anyways, we're gonna head inside and probably let out the chickens really quickly. And then we're gonna head down to the barn and I'll kind of show you what I've got going on there for the ladies. All right. So this is the chicken area. Might look familiar. This is the main coop with the egg-laying hens. These are the 2 coops that were here last time. And then this is the 3rd new coop in there. There's 4 roosters in there. So we're gonna let them out first. And you know, I brought my tripod, but this is so incredibly difficult. Maybe I'll try and set up my tripod to let these guys out because there's a huge flock of hens in there. But let's let these guys out first. Good morning. It's time. Hello. Yeah, let me get out of your way. And then this coop has a bunch of younger Polish. They might not come out right away, but Hi! Are you guys ready to start the day? All right, we'll leave them alone to do their thing. And this coop has a bunch of really shy, nervous, skittish babies as well. We're gonna cook that there. Hi everybody, good morning. Yeah. So we'll leave them alone to start their day. Oh no, please don't come out. Okay. All the shenanigans. Okay, let's set up my tripod and let these guys out because it's quite the show. Okay, I think that'll do. Hi. Everybody likes to come out and get their water in the morning. Yeah. I'm just gonna check for any eggs. They usually don't lay overnight, I find, because they're sleeping, but sometimes, like for example, there might be an egg under here. Did you lay anything? Not yet, hey? Okay, sorry, are you in the process? I'm sorry. I'll check back later, all right? There's been a lot of eggs in this corner here. Mostly, they've actually been laying in that corner down there where that little one is, but it seems like there's nothing yet, so we'll check back later. Enjoy your fresh chicky water. Yeah. Your little drinks. You can't escape. There's roosters out here that will attack. I don't mean to kick you, but like, can we just go back, please? Okay. This is the other thing about vlogging. This is what I mean by things happening quick. These guys escape so fast. And when I'm trying to like film and carry things, it's a recipe for disaster. This is the first Alberta blue sky day that I've seen since I got here. It's been 5 days of storming. The paddock has been so incredibly mucky. I almost lost my boots several times just from getting sucked in and like not being able to pull them back out again. It's almost stuck in my sock feet in this mud pit. Again, I'm not sure how I'm gonna vlog this because it's just a little bit too chaotic, but we'll just go into the barn and see what happens. We'll say hello to Maple and Bacon, the two most gorgeous barn kitties you will ever meet. Hello, good morning. Oh my gosh, literally nobody's here. Hi, there she is. Pretty girl. Just set that down for a minute. Hello, gorgeous. Good morning. There's her brother. This is Bacon. Hi, Bacon. Yeah. And this is Maple. Yeah. I know. You guys can go out there if you want, but okay. You gonna go out, honey? I'm gonna close this. Okay. Let me think about how I'm gonna do this. This is the barn. It's a little bit messy because we have just been going through the motions every day. But basically, I just have to set up Lena's stall and Spoon's stall by putting a little bit of hay in their stalls. Aspen just eats like a little bit of hay right here. And then, oh fuck, I forgot the ice boots in the house. Oh, I pulled a Carly. Hi, Wazy. So the ice boots, or ice shoes, are down here. They're in this freezer, and I just stuff them in here like this because I have to just like shove them under my arm and carry them all down. to the barn. You can see how muddy they're getting because the horse's legs are so muddy. Okay, perfect. There we go, closed. All right, let's go. All right, so I put the ice boots down here because sometimes each horse goes into the wrong stall. If I put the ice boots in here and Lena actually decides to go into that stall and Spoon decides to go into this stall, then it's this whole rigmarole. I'm gonna open this kitty door just for some light. Hi, and so that you can get in and out. Yeah, good boy. And then I'm just gonna get the hay prepared in here, and then we're gonna let the horses in through the south door over there. Is usually at the crack of the door, but not always. It's breakfast time! Hi! So there's all 4 of her booties on, strapped nice and tight for some ice therapy. Lena. All right, let's go throw these hay flakes out in the muddy, boggy paddock. I see you. Yes, I do. You're impossible not to see. I think I'm going to attempt to set up my tripod even in the mud because I really want some stills or some photos of me for like farm sitting marketing purposes. Pushing around this hay, what is this called? Wagon? Hay barrel? Hay wheelbarrow. There we go. It's okay, Aspen. Everything is fine. Yes, you're safe in this world, I promise. Let's close that so Aspen doesn't get a free-for-all in there while we're out there. Let's gently, gently, gently roll this behind Aspen's bum. Incoming, do you see me? Do you acknowledge that I'm here? No spooking. Good job. Okay, we're out of the danger zone. So I haven't been rolling the wheelbarrow out here because look, this is actually so much better than what it was yesterday after the rain, because with the sun, it's gonna dry out pretty quick, but it is so thick that rolling a wheelbarrow or pulling a wheelbarrow out here is a nightmare. So I've just been doing it by hand. Usually I use both hands, but I just take a few flakes and scatter them around the paddock. I like to put them in sort of drier areas. I'll put one there. This is how I'm getting my 10,000 steps in lately. Just spread these out, so I'll put one over in that corner. And then I just sort of like do the perimeter around the paddock because it's so soggy in the middle, but I'm gonna use both my hands to do this. This is the last flake. I think we're just gonna stick it like right here. Now, actually, what I do is I leave Lena and Spoon and Aspen to go in and out of the barn just to finish up their hay and for Lena's ice packs to have some time on her legs. And then I head back to the house and make breakfast. I get to eat last. I always keep the girly goos just locked up in the bedroom as cozy as possible. Hi, with their fresh ice water, and they have a snuffle mat back there with some snuffle cheese. Just when I'm out doing chores so that all the dogs aren't out here together, I also feel like it makes Fern and Ivy just feel like a little bit safer, more contained, because this house has such high ceilings and it makes them a little nervous. So I am going to heat up oh, Maisie got into the recycling while I was out. I forgot to puppy proof. And there's like little cat food tins in here that I'm sure smell very, very good to a Maisie nose. So I'm keeping that up there. I prepped a whole bunch of breakfast burritos when I first got here. I'm kind of sad I didn't vlog about that actually, but I just wasn't in the mood. So I put them all down here. So there's one that's thawed in the fridge. I'm just gonna pop it in the oven for about probably 40 minutes. And then we're gonna get some yogurt and salsa ready. Bake, start to preheat. Just made a fresh pot of coffee. It's kind of ironic that I'm wearing my raw milk shirt, but I'm using conventional Dairyland. Dairyland? Yeah, Dairyland cream. But you know what? I don't have access to any friggin' cows here. Chickens and lots of eggs, which is what I made my burritos with, which is very, very special. So I don't have access to eggs back home in the Kootenays, but I do milk cows. And I brought a little bit of raw milk with me, but I used it all up, so I had to get some NPC cream. Set up everybody here. I'm just gonna drink this coffee and eat a burrito, and then we're gonna go back to the barn and let Lena and Spoon out to the paddock for the rest of the morning and the rest of the afternoon. My burrito still has about 20 minutes left in the oven. I thought I would just come down to the barn and take off Lena's ice boots and let her and Spoon out into the pasture, not in the pasture, the paddock with Aspen. And then I'll go back and finally eat because I am starving. Hello. Hi, guys. Are you ready? So before we do anything, I have to take off your ice booties, Lena. Oh. Okay. One. Oh, there it is. Two. Three. Four. You can come on out. Hi, Spoon. Come out too. So they generally like to clean up Aspen's mess. To get them out of the barn, Carly suggested I use this little flag because they do not like the flag. Yeah. I literally don't even have to move it. It's just like the mere presence of it. They're like, oh my God. So that has been a wonderful, wonderful thing to have. I just have to bring Lena's ice booties back to the house and put them back in the freezer so that we can ice her legs again this evening. Just make sure that stays open for the Kikis. And let's go eat a burrito. finally time. I bulk prepped a whole bunch of these when I first got here. I've been eating a burrito a day for at least the past month. These have become my new obsession. They're so easy and they're so delicious and they're so satisfying. And I was so excited to get to Cedar View and prep these and fill the freezer with them for my stay here because I get to make them with eggs from the backyard. Like the eggs are still warm after coming out of the chicken's butt. I know it doesn't come out of the chicken's butt, but they're like these warm butt nuggets and it's just the freshest egg that you could ever eat. Literally walk outside, pick it up off the ground, bring it in, scramble it up. So the way that I make these, or the way that I have been making these, is scrambling up only one egg. A wrap like holds less filling than you'd think. This is a big wrap too, a big whole wheat wrap. It's just one egg with the yolk, and then I add in just a 1/4 cup of egg whites, which is about the egg whites of 2 eggs. And then I scrambled that up with white onion, green pepper, and I was doing ham at first, but I've swapped that out for chicken breast. It's just a little bit fewer calories and a little bit healthier than like pieces of like ham. I add a 1/2 cup of reduced fat cheddar onto the wrap, and then I just wrap everything up nice and tight, wrap it in a tin foil, put it in the freezer, and then I pull one out the night before and then throw it in the oven for 40 minutes to heat up. I think 40 minutes might have been a bit too much actually because this is extremely hot. I eat it with salsa and sour cream, which actually isn't sour cream, it's fat-free Greek yogurt. I usually use the Greek yogurt that I make myself at home from the cows that I milk. But like I said, I don't have that here. So I have fresh eggs from the backyard. This is just Siggy's. I've been using Siggy's as a replacement. It is like the cleanest, thickest Greek style kind of yogurt that you can find in the supermarket, in the grocery store. So I weigh out 100 grams of Siggy's and 60 milliliters of salsa. And the reason I'm being so specific with weighing, I weigh everything that goes in here as well, is because I've been in a calorie deficit for the past 7 weeks. It's been 7 weeks and I've lost about, let's see, I weighed in on June 1st at 180.2, and I actually just weighed myself this morning and I was 162.4. That's literally almost 18 pounds in 7 weeks. So over the past few years, since moving to the Kootenays actually, I've been eating in a slight calorie surplus without even really realizing or thinking about it. I've just been overeating, and slowly over the past, like I would say 3 to 4 years, I've slowly been putting on weight, like putting on body fat as a result of that like weekly minimal calorie surplus. Some weeks were probably more, some weeks were probably less, but over time I was just eating in a calorie surplus, and so I gained weight very slowly. I probably gained about friggin' 40 pounds, maybe 50 pounds, like a lot. When I first moved out to the Kootenays, I had actually only been out of surgery for a few months, and I was so thin, like I was just so thin from my body like recovering constantly over that period of 5 years. This is getting complicated because I feel like I don't want to go back and tell that story right now, but anyways, I was really skinny when I moved to the Kootenays, and over the past 3 to 4, possibly 5 years, very slowly I've gained a lot of weight. So in June I decided that I wanted to figure out how to lose it, and my solution so far, like what I learned and what I decided to implement, was a daily calorie deficit and 10,000 steps a day. And I was doing kettlebell workouts, so I was strength training until I broke one of the kettlebells. It was so funny when I told my mom this, she was like, how do you break a kettlebell? But they were those fancy Bowflex kettlebells, those interchangeable weight kettlebells. And I was just doing a specific exercise where I was like twirling it around my body. And as I was leaning over, I lost my grip and it just like kind of fell onto the floor and cracked the bottom. So I haven't been doing strength training in a little while, but I have been keeping up my 10,000 steps a day. It's about 2 hours of walking per day. I was walking on the rail trail in the Kootenays, and yesterday I went on the most hilarious walk here in Alberta. It was along the highway, and like some guy pulled over and asked me if I needed a ride, and like people were giving me funny looks, and it was horrible, and I won't be doing it again. So I have to figure something else out for 10,000 steps. I'll probably just be walking the property line. I've lost a lot of weight. It is just in a very short period of time. It has just literally melted off. It feels so good. I'm still not quite finished yet. I don't know what my goal weight is, but I know that I just want to lose a little bit more body fat, and then I want to slowly get back into strength training again, and I'm paying more attention to my actual macros rather than the calories that I'm consuming, or kind of both. I want to incorporate learning about and paying attention to macros because I would like to eat more protein so that I can actually start to build a little bit of muscle. So that's sort of where I'm at in my fitness journey. It's become definitely a priority in my life over the past couple of months, and it's just been something that I've really been enjoying and that I've really been doing really well at being consistent with. It just feels really good, and I'm really proud of myself. So these burritos, I literally just spoon like a little bit of yogurt and salsa on top and eat it. I'm not gonna film myself eating this because I'm just gonna devour it, but yeah, I'll be back in a little bit. All right, we're coming into the evening, and I just wanted to go into the chicken coop to give these guys some scraps that I collected when I was doing meal prep when I first got here this weekend. This is when I was making all of my breakfast burritos, and I actually went into High River to grab a few extra ingredients from the grocery store to make more burritos this evening for meal prep, because I figured while I have access to eggs, we're gonna collect some eggs while I'm in here. I might as well make them into burritos because I can freeze them and take them with me like after I leave. So this rooster is very excited. Hi. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Hi. You are so noisy. Do you guys want some of this? There we go. Let's check for piggies. One down here. There's one in here. There's two in here. These ones don't usually have eggs in them, but I think that's all we got, hey? Oh. Oh, that one's huge. This is a really pretty like taupe color. So I'm actually just gonna use this colander. That makes the most sense to put these in. Bring those back to the house. Stay easy. Okay, so these are the cartons I've been collecting all of the eggs in. See how gorgeous these are? Like after you experience farm eggs from actual small farms, you can never look at a carton of like homogenized white or brown eggs from the grocery store ever again. Like these are so pretty. Okay. Okay, we are heading down to the barn for evening chores. I have Lena's ice booties. I don't know if all the stuff I filmed today is gonna be too long for this vlog, or if it's even really necessary for me to film this part of the day, but I said I would, so I am. We're going to do the same thing we did this morning, except I have to give Lena her medication and ice her legs and put the hay out in the paddock again, lock the kitties up, feed them dinner, and just like shut down the barn for the evening. And then we have to wait until 10 p.m. until the sun actually goes down behind the horizon to put the chickens to bed, because that's when they naturally roost. So we have some time to kill, which is when I'm gonna make some breakfast burritos. I also have to make myself some dinner, which I really want to share with you guys because the bowls I've been making are really beautiful and just like delicious and exciting, and I just want to share it with you. So that's the itinerary, that's the plan. Lena and Spoon are ready for snackies. And Aspen too, probably. I feel like Aspen's so new, she's not as aggressive as Lena and Spoon. She's kind of just like happy to be here. Okay, so here's the setup for dinner. Carly has this adorable little chart here. So the hay I've got down, the grain they only get in the evening, and Lena and Spoon each get something different. Aspen gets something totally different. So I've got like oils and medication and supplements, and their grain or their feed is just down here for each horse. So I just have to put together 3 separate bowls before I even so much as think about dealing with like the flakes of hay. So we're gonna do that first, and then these guys are just gonna have to wait for their dinner until we're done. They all get a half a scoop of this amino trace. She loves eating this grain, it's so cute. Okay, and then Aspen gets a scoop of probiotics. Aspen's bowl is the big red bowl. And then, let's see. Oh yeah, Aspen also gets a couple pumps of flax oil. So we're just gonna do this. 1, 2, great. And then Spoon. Yeah, Spoon is simple. I put Spoon's stuff in the smaller one because she's smaller and it helps me remember. And then Lena, I put in the larger one. So Lena, this is the Butte, it's called. It's like horsey Advil. I just have to fill it up. And here, how much? 20 milliliters. So I'm gonna fill this up. I have to squirt it all over. And then I have to put applesauce on top, or else she doesn't like the flavor of this and she actually won't eat it. Okay. So this just gets put on like that. And then we've got I opened this little container from yesterday. And we'll just splash that on top so that she actually maybe finds it kind of palatable. So we're gonna put this one right in her stall, right in the corner. I'm also gonna give her a flake of hay. Just like that. Spoon gets a flake of hay as well. And then Aspen, I'm actually just going to wait until Lena and Spoon are in their stalls until I give her a little bit of food. So I'm gonna put her hay there and her grain there. All right, and then we're gonna close this and let the girlies in. Okay, I have a serious question for you guys, actually. Have you ever been hit with a really overwhelming wave of nostalgia for your childhood? Like, have childhood memories ever come up or ever surfaced for you when triggered by some kind of sensory input, like a smell or a sight or a sound or like a visual or just like a general vibe or an environment randomly out of nowhere? Because I was just hit like a ton of bricks when I was filling up the wheelbarrow with hay to go throw it into the paddock. I spent a part of my childhood, I was just texting my mom and she told me that I was actually only 5 years old, which is crazy because these memories are so vivid. But I spent a part of my childhood basically being raised on a farm. And I used to spend so much time sneaking up to the attic. We rented this property. My family rented this property. So we had this landlord, this farmer landlord that would come, and he was, I remember he was raising cattle, but he was also working the field. And I would sneak up into his barn all the time. And I used to spend so much time on haystacks, just like hanging out there and looking in between the cracks. Like I was up in the attic and I would look down beneath the cracks and like watch the calves being born and just watch the cows and stuff. But I used to spend so much time up there and just everything about it, like the dust particles like floating through streams of sunlight coming through the windows, and the smell of the hay when you move it and you disrupt it, and all of that, like all of those particles just come up into the air, like the smell of hay. There is something heavy, like something really, really visceral and really, really real that comes up for me when I'm in a barn. I don't know, this isn't the first time I've like realized that. I actually realized that for the first time when I was spending time at my friend Jade's property in her barn. I've also sat for her before and vlogged about that, but every time I come into a barn, just the mustiness of it, the muddiness of it, the muckiness of it, the hay, like the environment, the sounds, like everything about it just brings back like these childhood memories of being a little 5-year-old girl, I guess, in a barn. It's just wild because I deviated from that little girl. Like I lost her. Like it's like this classic like losing your inner child or abandoning your inner child story. And my journey throughout my adult life has been making my way back to her. And at this point in my life, I'm almost 40. I'm not almost 40, I'm 39 and a half. I'm farm sitting for a living, and more than anything in the world, I want my own farm. Like I want to find the Real Grumble Farm. This has been a thing for me for the past decade. So I feel like there's something there. There's a connection there. There's a childhood piece there. And I don't know. I wanted to pick up my camera and just like capture that in the moment of emotion when I felt it, because shit. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Okay, we're gonna get this hay out to the paddock. I just wanted to share these meal prep bowls that I've been eating for the last little while. It's been like breakfast burritos and these. So these are the viral TikTok high protein beef bowls. You know, like everything that goes viral is viral TikTok. This is one of those things. It's actually really freaking good. It is ground beef, sweet potato. This is actually technically yam, if you know, you know, with a half a cup of cottage cheese. Like literally don't knock it till you try it. And avocado. I'm just gonna stick that on there. I've been adding cilantro and green onion. The lime is also my personal touch. And then you're supposed to put hot honey on here. I could literally only find bee-made honey at the Sobeys in High River, but it's very, very good. if you just drizzle it on there, and then you just add chili flakes for the spice. I add a lot. And then the cottage cheese mixes with the ground beef, and the avocado kind of like gets mushed up. And it reminds me of just like a chili that you would eat without like the beans. It's so good. It's so friggin' good.
Trying to wake up from a dream is harder than it seems. Birds are flying all around, some fall and hit the ground. This is where I should belong.